first win at home, or how did this win motivate your team moving forward?
We just needed a win. Truth of the matter is, the season started a couple of weeks ago, and we're yet to have a victory and a slash in that win column. So this is huge. It's huge for their confidence.
Great from downtown today. How does that, help your team moving forward?
We shoot it better when we share it better, right? We got into a funk at App State, with the last 6 minutes of the game, and I don't think we shared the ball as well. So the ball can't stick. I told Justin, and that's been a bit emphasis on him, man, share the ball. Just give it up. It'll come back to you. I think tonight he might have dribbled the ball 5 or 6 times and got 22 points. Any other time he's trying to do way too much, and he don't need to invite that load on him because we have a committee of people who are willing and able and capable of making shots. So we just shared the ball a little more, and that started on the defensive end of the floor.
How important is it when you're playing a team that's overmatched to continue to play the way you're supposed to play as a team?
If you notice, I coached to the horn. I was calling timeouts with 2 minutes left because I just told them we started a game within a game, right? We was working on different things, but I was making sure, it's easy to get out of pocket. You up 60, your little girlfriend in here now, and you ain't seen her, and you waiting we had to stay locked in and just make sure we execute and be in the right place at the right time. So, towards the end, it can become a glorified practice, and you can really utilize and get some things from it because every possession matters.
Coach, you talked about the ball not sticking tonight in the first home game. 26 total team assists. Just watching the team, everyone's having a blast. Can you talk about the team chemistry this early on in the season?
I think you hit the nail on the head, 26 assists. Anytime you're doing that, you're sharing. Some people are happy. And so what happens is when you pass the ball and somebody scores, you're happy and they're happy. So it's a double whammy. But when one person is dribbling the air out the ball and he's shooting, only one person is happy and 4 people are miserable. It's really a simple game, and the key is I'm getting to know these guys too, right? And so there's some things that even though they're talented, they came from other schools and they don't know how to win. We got one guy on our roster that's been to the NCAA tournament, and that guy's from North Carolina Central, right? So wherever they came from, respectively, they don't know how to win. So it's going to be a process, and sometimes it's a really uncomfortable process in doing that. But I thought we took a step in the right direction tonight.
How do you coach that, getting a win? How do you coach it? I mean, it starts in practice, I'm sure.
Yeah, you just got to stay on them because I told them losers don't know why they lose, but winners know why they win, right? And so 5-6 minutes, and the thing is really simple, right? And the tough part about it is doing the right thing at all times, right? So we were at App State, and they had a huge win against Louisville last night, right? So we're up 8 points with 6 minutes left. Well, a winner's mindset is, I'm going to finish this out. Every single possession is going to be perfect. A loser's mindset becomes, wow, we got a bit of a cushion. I'm going to give you this shot and give you that shot and see what happens. Now you make it in 2-3 trips up the floor. Now it's a tie ball game. Now you're trying to overcompensate with 2 minutes left for something you should have done when you was at the 6-minute mark. So everybody look at the last minutes of games and last seconds. But it's really like those 5 or 6 minutes at that mark where you got to continue to do the right thing at all times. So it's accountability. I'm staying on them, and hopefully they can police themselves through it all.
Coach, I know every year you talk about how difficult it is to get everybody on the court, and I know you're still missing a few pieces now, but Coach, you get home, you get a chance to empty out the bench, a chance to finally get everybody on the court and see them in game action. How good does that feel?
It feels good because it's earned, because this ain't a affirmative action basketball. This ain't I-9 and recreation. You earn your keep out here, right? And they understand that. And, those guys that entered the game in the last 2 minutes, I told them in the locker room I was extremely proud of them, too, because they were executing our system and not just going helter-skelter.
And talking about those last few minutes, you get Chris Daniels, he gets a bucket. Timmy Adediri, he gets a bucket. Kids that were walk-ons last year and stayed with the program and continue to learn. This has to feel good to be able to reward them like that.
It's huge for them, but, I haven't rewarded them. They rewarded themselves. And I just think the student support, right, they're favorites of the crowd, and that's always a pleasure within itself. And, the bench is up cheering, because those guys work extremely hard every day to make us better.
How do you keep your team focused, during school and, outside of the court in the locker room? How do you keep your team focused to prepare for games like this at home?
We give them a game within a game. We look, we treat everyone the same because we ain't that good. Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. So, it's upsets every single day. We're not that good. We respect all of our opponents, and we prepare the same way for Mid-Atlantic Christian as we did UVA, right? We had walk-around, we had film sessions, we had accountability sessions, we walked through the plays and everything. So, I think we respect every opponent. They know that about me, the ones that's been here. And, when we go in the locker room and we coming into these timeouts, I say, okay, look, we might be up 20 now, but they better not get 55 points at the end of this game, right? So they're still guarding, they're still defending at a high level. There were times that we got loose and we didn't share the basketball, in a manner that I hope, but overall I'm appreciative of their efforts.
Coach, you talked about the game against Virginia, and it was a close one. You guys had a couple close games on the road. Can you just talk about the messages and how they're different in those close losses and the blowout wins like you had tonight?
Honestly, the message ain't different because the standard is the standard here, right? We don't do more victories. We don't do, hey, you try your hardest and then mama give you some Cheetos and a Capri Sun after. Like, nah, man. Like, the standard is the standard. And they see that from these banners hanging up in here, this new gym floor. All of that was paid courtesy of winning, right? So we're not going to stop that now. And I told them we're not going to lower our standard so you can feel comfortable. Our standard here, the expectation is here. You knew that when you put pen to paper. You knew that when you walked over here, and you reap those benefits every day. You walk out here and you got an NCCU sweatsuit on, and somebody say, hey, you play for Central? Well, if you're going to reap the benefits of it, you got to earn the responsibility that go along with it as well.